welcome to my channel. I'm Jess, and this is Canyon Oracle. It's a place where we use divination tools like tarot and oracle cards to inspire healing and transformation in the lives of truth seekers, just like you. Today we're going to be answering the question, what is my life's purpose? You know, it seems that now more than ever, it is so important that we truly live a life of meaning and purpose, that we know what we're here to do and be in this life, right? It's enough time that we're wasting. So we're going to look at that in this reading today. We're going to look at also potentially what blocks might be stopping you from living your purpose and really get insight and clarity about how to move you toward a life of purpose and meaning. Before we get started, I just have to remind you, these are general readings, so some aspects of the reading may not apply to you, or you may choose a pile and feel that it doesn't really resonate with you at all. Please don't ever try to make it fit. Just move on to another pile or even on to another pick a card reading entirely. There's so many amazing psychics and readers on YouTube. I have some info in the description box below if you're curious about one-on-one live intuitive coaching sessions that I do. If you want more specific information that is unique just to you, I have a great discount on that right now. Also, I'm giving away a free meditation. That's a really powerful meditation that takes you on a journey to your higher self, where you can get downloaded information from the aspect of you that resides with the divine. And I'm giving that away for free. That link is also in the description box below. If you have any other questions and you don't see them in the description box, the answers to those questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I promise I will get back to you. All right, my dear. So without further ado, we have 3 groups to choose from today. If you've already chosen your group, the timestamps in the description box below. If you haven't already chosen your group, I invite you to just take a moment to really ground yourself in your body. Feel your feet on the ground and let your belly go. Let your breath just drop down. Bring yourself to this present moment where your intuition resides, where your truth resides, right here in this present moment. And ask yourself the question, what is my life's purpose? If you'd like to take a look at the stones, I'll bring them a little bit closer. Group 1. Then we have group 2, and finally group 3. All right, love, go ahead and choose your group, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi, group 1, welcome to your reading. Okay, so we are going to be using a variety of different cards today. Some non-traditional tarot, some oracle cards, some archetype cards. We'll really look at them one by one, and then we'll see the larger story that wants to be told. So what is your life's purpose? Let's begin with 3 of these non-traditional tarot cards that I really love using. Wow, okay. I am not going to look at specifically which ones are reversed and which aren't, because I like to look at both the light and the shadow attributes of each card, and I see how they fit together. So the first card that we got is the Fool, the child in this deck, which is this 0-point energy, the Fool card. It is the pre-manifest. Before we manifest things into the physical realm, we are at that 0-point energy. It is the part of us that is connected to the divine source. It's where our higher self resides. It's where our intuition resides. What this tells me is that your purpose is hasn't begun yet, okay? It tells me that it is something new. My sense is that all of your life has actually been adding up to bring you to this point, and then you're going to go on a completely different journey. And it might be like, it might feel disjointed in a way. So it might feel like you're literally this baby in this, you see the baby in the womb here? This is fascinating to me. So although we know that a baby is starting fresh, right? So this child energy is this fresh, brand new energy in a brand new life with a brand new set of circumstances, new parents, new family, new everything. And yet we also know that this soul came from somewhere else, right? The soul didn't just begin in the womb. Now, everyone is going to have a different view, religious view, spiritual view. If you're watching a tarot reading, I would imagine that you do believe in reincarnation and that the soul doesn't just start at this birth, right? So I'm just going to make that assumption. If you don't, then this may not be your reading. And I honestly may not be a reader too. So with that assumption in mind, I think it's important to remember this idea that the soul is continuous and that it takes with it all of the skills, all of the wisdom that it has learned from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And it comes into a brand new incarnation with all of that within its DNA, its cellular structure, within its soul, its code, its blueprint, its energetic blueprint. It takes all of that with it into each life. And then it begins again fresh and new with this veil of forgetting. So there's something about that that's really relevant right now for you inside of your life's purpose. Again, it feels very strongly to me like it's gonna feel like it's totally new at the beginning. And you at the beginning will be like, this can't be it because this is totally off topic. This is not something I've ever looked at before or learned before or understood before. And then my sense is once you get into it, there will be this remembrance, there will be this like, oh yeah, this does feel familiar, or oh yeah, this does actually relate to what I did in my 20s. How strange that I'm using all of those skills and all of that information from, you know, throughout my life into this experience right now that felt so new, but really it does feel familiar. Something about that. I'm also noticing these tropical birds here, these parrots and what is that, a toucan, I believe it is. It feels exotic. Ooh, and then I noticed that there is this owl that's peeking out as well. So what I mean by exotic is, again, it feels like it's going to be something totally different and new. So if you've been getting some insight, this might be your confirmation. Like if you've been feeling like, oh, I've been feeling like I should be going into nursing, but that seems so crazy and out there. I don't want to do nursing. Follow that intuition, because even though it's going to feel like left field and totally weird and totally different, you're going to have to follow your intuition where it is in that 0 point energy, that place of not knowing inside of the mind. It's going to be deeper. It's going to be an intuitive hit of some kind that is going to feel out of left field. Okay, let's keep going and see if we have any insight into what that might be. So then we have the Three of Wands energy. I love this energy because it is all about alignment. Okay, it is about, in the traditional tarot, the Three of Wands is all about stepping through a portal. You are aligned, you have done the work, and it is also about sort of waiting for this new wave of energy to come in from all of the work that you've done. Interestingly enough, in this card, we have compassion. So, and then this hand mudra here, which I don't know what that is, but it might have a deeper meaning, and maybe some of you know what that is. I actually don't. But there is some like hidden wisdom there that you're going to be aligned with. I also noticing this butterfly, which is about transformational energy. And you see how he's like on top of the finger and all these birds flying. It's like a higher perspective, a higher understanding of this deeper wisdom. Again, it feels past life to me. It feels like it's karmic. Like it feels like it's something that you've done in a past life, and that you're coming back into alignment with this aspect of yourself in this life. Like maybe it's something that you did many, many lifetimes ago and you dropped it for some reason. And now you're coming back to it again. So at the beginning, it is going to feel totally foreign. And then there will be this feeling of alignment where all of the planets are aligned and all of the light is aligned. And all of a sudden you're like, it's like this lightning moment where it's like ding, 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 ding. And then all of the energies align and all of a sudden it feels like a flash of insight or something like that, which is interesting because then we have the Four of Wands. So we move from the 3, which is about alignment, into the 4, which is about grounding it into the material realm. In this deck, it is a card of aspiration. So again, it's about reaching higher heights. So maybe there's something about you that has sort of not allowed yourself to really dream as big as you can, or there's something about this purpose or this this greater vision for your life that you've been restricting yourself in some way. Like you're like, no, that's too big a goal. Like maybe you want to start a non-for-profit, or you want to start an organization, or you want to be a doctor, or you want to do something that's going to take a long time, or you feel like it's above you in some way. I couldn't possibly handle all of that work. I couldn't possibly do all of that schooling. I couldn't possibly. The cards want you to know, yeah, you can. Absolutely, yes, you can. And it's time for you to aspire to your true heights, to where your soul is guiding you. Again, this is not new. It's going to feel new, but you've done this before in other lifetimes. You have already done this. So although at the beginning there's going to be a learning curve and it might feel overwhelming in many ways, don't let that stop you. Because once you get into it, you're gonna have the momentum behind you and it's gonna start pushing you forward. Interesting also, I noticed these 2 hands. So, and hands here too, you guys. That is fascinating. I wonder if it's something you're going to do with your hands. I wonder if this, this purpose of yours, this life purpose of yours, is going to be using your hands. Even that is like a fist. So it could be a craft of some kind where you're building something like woodwork, or, you know, an artist. You could be an artist of some kind who creates something with your hands. It could even be digitally, like you're creating something digitally. Even nursing you do with your hands. And that was something I was drawn to at the beginning, a healer with your hands. Something that you're actually doing, creating with your hands. So it's going to be less, it could even be like a surgeon, you guys. I mean, because it does feel that it's less cerebral, but it could require your intellect. It could require your mind, but somehow it's going to be made manifest in the material with your hands. You're going to be doing something with your hands. Could even be tarot cards with your hands, something, okay? And whatever's popping into your head right now, it's probably that. Okay, let's keep going. So then we have these 2 oracle cards. We have the Door to Spirit and the Storm Warning. So I'm really noticing that both of these are this stormy energy. And it's a stormy energy of spirit. So it doesn't feel scary. Sometimes the storm warning card can be like a warning of something potentially dangerous. It doesn't feel like that for you for this reading, it feels more like it's a spiritual storm of some kind. So again, it feels like whatever your purpose is, it's gonna break things up in your life, okay? That's what it feels like. Like, it feels like it might require you to change everything in some way, and it's not gonna feel safe. Okay, that's my sense. Whatever your great purpose is in your life that you've been looking for, it's not the safe bet. But here's what's interesting. It actually is the safe bet because it is going to connect you to your purpose. Okay, you're going to feel that spiritual connection, that alignment once you get into it. But it's going to require that you take a leap of faith, you guys. Wow. Okay, the Fool card. What is the Fool card traditionally in the tarot card? In the tarot deck that we all say, it's about taking a leap of faith. This is going to require you to take a huge leap of faith. And it's probably because it feels so big. It's probably because it feels so above where you currently are in some way. Your mind is going to tell you that's too big, it's too far, it's too hard, I'll never be able to do it. But your spirit is going to say, yeah, it's going to break things up, and then it's going to move you through a portal to the purpose and the meaning that you are craving in your life. Allow for the storm to come. Isn't that interesting that I saw a flash of lightning when I was looking at this Four of Wands, and I didn't even realize here we have this lightning bolt. So it might come with a bolt of inspiration, and it may be happening right now. Okay, so whatever is popping into your mind right now that feels too big, that you automatically discount, it may just be that. Okay, because this is going to come in like a lightning bolt. And again, it is going to break things up. It's going to possibly make a mess. Okay, it might feel chaotic, but it's leading you somewhere. It wants to take you away from where you currently are. Listen, you cannot have what you want if you continue to grasp onto what you currently have. Okay, so I've done a lot of personal development work, and there's a mantra we used to always say: if you want to stand up, you have to give up sitting down. Okay, that's way overly simplified, but I think you get my point. Sitting down is a comfortable place to be, okay? But sometimes it's on the highest shelf that we need to go. So we got to stand up. Sometimes we got to get a step stool. Sometimes we have to climb up on the counter, and it might feel a little bit rocky and shaky, and oh my gosh, am I going to make it to that top? Yes, you are. And the reason that I know you are is because this is your spirit's soul's calling. And your spirit and your soul is not going to set you up for disaster. It's not going to set you up for failure, actually. It's going to set you up for real alignment. It's going to set you up so that you can be sucked into this portal. But you have to take the leap of faith first. It's something that you have to do first. And that's how life works. That's how God works. We wouldn't be here if we already knew everything. A part of this experience in this crazy, wacky, three-dimensional life that we're living here on planet Earth today is about forgetting. It is about the veil of not knowing. That is so challenging for us. But it's how we spiritually grow. I mean, that's what I hope anyway. I do hope that this life is really about growth, and how we grow is learning lessons. And we can't learn lessons if we already have all the answers, right? You're not going to start a class and the teacher gives you, all of the answers at the very beginning, because then where is there to go? And also, you're not going to have the deeper understanding, the wisdom that goes behind the answers, which is why your soul is here. And we also know that the way that we actually get all those happy, good dopamine, happy hormones, feeling good about ourselves, feeling inspired, feeling like our life has meaning, unless we actually go through something that is challenging, that we have to push, that creates effort, that we know ourselves to be brave, to be strong, to be capable. We get that by going through the storm. Okay, so it's all a part of it. Don't get scared of the storm. Walk through it, because there's going to be a door there that's waiting for you. Let's see the archetype cards that we have to work with. We have the femme fatale, the athlete, and the victim. Fascinating. Okay, so I'm going to read both the light and the shadow attributes of each of these cards, because I always believe that we're working with both. The light attributes of the femme fatale are highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. The shadow is inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. The athlete is dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. The shadow is misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. And the victim is, the light attributes is prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others rather. The shadow is playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. Okay, so it does feel like there's something about like physically helping other people in some way. I mean, I don't know why this popped into my head, but like this reading is not for children, but like a sex therapist or something like that, like a sexual healer with this femme fatale energy, and the athlete is all about the body, right? And the victim could be like supporting people with who've been sexually traumatized in some way. Like this healer energy feels very strong with all of these hands and the door to spirit and the nurse that came up for me. It could also be about helping women birth babies. There's something about like sexuality or birth or healing, a physical therapist, something like that feels very strongly for you, for me. And this storm warning too could really be about like helping people who've gone through storms in some way. It feels like the victim aspect that you're going to be working with, and it could be for you too. It could be that you were a victim of physical violence in some way or sexual abuse in some way, and now you are going to be helping others deal with those limitations. The athlete card for me just feels like physical limitations in some way. So it's supporting people going through physical limitations. And the femme fatale is really about using your feminine sexual energy. So it's maybe supporting women, okay, who have gone through some sort of sexual trauma, again, or it could even be like a doula or a midwife, or a physical therapist or a body worker, a massage therapist, okay? Whatever feels right to you. This is a general reading, so it's gonna be different for all of you, but it feels, I'm sorry, very specific with these cards right now. And the last card that we have is You're Not for Everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. Wow, that's really powerful, you guys. And why that feels really poignant to this reading in particular is that might be some of the hesitation that you have. That might be the thing that feels stormy to you. That might be the thing that makes you feel like you have to take a leap of faith. And you guys, do you see her standing at the edge of a cliff? This is very similar to the Fool card in your traditional tarot deck. The fool who's about to leap off the cliff, who's about to take that leap of faith. And you have to know, you are not for everyone. You're not supposed to be for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. Whatever is calling your soul wants to walk through a portal that is going to be very unique to you. It feels like you are a very, very unique individual. And unfortunately, that sometimes comes with feeling ostracized, feeling judged, feeling like people are like, oh, you're not gonna actually do that thing. That's crazy. You're the crazy one. Well, guess what? The visionaries, the truth seekers, the heroes and heroines of our world are always looked at as crazy. Why? Because they're special. And so are you. You're special. Okay? So whatever story you're telling yourself about being weird, or that's not right, or I couldn't possibly be a sex therapist, that's not, no. You need to embrace your uniqueness. For some reason, I don't know why this is coming up, but when I was a kid, my best friend and I, when I was a kid, like in elementary school, we used to love that we were weird. Okay, I've been an artist my whole life, an artist and a healer. And with this artist energy that I have, I've always been very unique. And for whatever reason, I was never embarrassed about that. I thank God for some reason I dealt with that in my past lives, but I've always loved that I was unique, okay? And my best girlfriend and I used to always call each other weird in a loving way. Like we rejoiced in being weird. At a time in the 80s when weird was not cool, I made it cool. And because I made it cool, I was always the cool one. Okay? And it's not because other people were like, oh, Jessica's cool. No, it's because I was like, guess what, guys? I'm cool. Guess what, guys? I see different things different than all of y'all. And what would happen was I was always like admired in many ways and loved in many ways. And I always had, different friends from different groups. I was never in one group. Why? Because I never fit a mold. You can't lock me into one group. I'm special, I'm unique. But what's cool about that is I get to go wherever the heck I want to go. Okay? I create the trends, I don't follow the trends. And that's who you are. You're a trendsetter. So if there's a part of you that has been rejecting that aspect of yourself, it's time that you embrace it, okay? Enough is enough. We don't have time. The world needs unique people like you starting new things. Okay? Whatever your soul is guiding you to do, it is important that you do that work. So if you needed any permission, I'm giving it to you now. You have from your soul, okay, this is your higher self speaking to you right now. Your higher self is begging you to step into this unique path that is just designed for you. And once you get on the path, you will start to feel comfortable. It's like when you move into a new house. It's so crazy at the beginning. It feels like you're in someone else's house. It's so, you don't want to step on the floor. It feels dirty, right? A few months into it, it's your house. You know where everything is. Everything feels cozy again. You feel comfortable. It's the same thing with your life's path. But you have to get started, okay? You have to take that leap of faith. You got to jump off the cliff. Know that it's going to feel stormy. It's going to break things up. But then there will be this portal that opens up and you'll walk through it and you'll be like, thank God, because here I am. Here I truly am. What your soul has been waiting for this whole time. It's waiting for you. And you can do it. I know you can. That's why you're here. That's why your soul chose this group. You needed the confirmation, you're getting the confirmation, and it's time. And you just take baby step by baby step. You don't have to have it all figured out right now, but get going. Take the leap. Take that first step, which feels the most dramatic, right? Enroll in the class. Have a conversation with someone else who might be in a similar field. Start to take those, do the research, start to take those first steps. And if you already have been doing that and there's one other big step that you haven't wanted to do, the cards are telling you it's time. Okay? It's time. All right, my beautiful, beautiful group one, I am so excited for you. Okay? I'm excited on behalf of the world. I'm excited. I'm excited for this journey of yours. I really, truly am. And I would love to hear what it is. If this reading resonated for you and you have all these different ideas, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. I would love to hear what it is that your soul's purpose is. And I would love to support you in any way that I can. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I send you so much love and so much light. And until next time, Group 1, please be well. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different cards today. We're going to be using some non-traditional tarot oracle cards. Let's look at them each one by one, and then we'll see the larger story that wants to be told. Okay, so these are non-traditional tarot cards, and I look at everything sort of right side up because I like to look at things, the light and the shadow attributes of each. Okay. So the first card we have is the Five of Wands. In this deck, it's oppression. The second is the Seven of Worlds, which is the Seven of Pentacles in traditional tarot, and that is breakthrough. Then we have the Man of Wands, and that is the Actor card. That would be the King of Wands. Okay, so let's see. So we have a lot of fire energy here, which is really interesting. There's a lot of the King of Wands is an entrepreneur. I know in this deck it's the Actor card, which, you know what? You could be an actor. You could be an artist of some kind. It feels to me that it is about creation, this entrepreneurial energy that you're definitely, I know there's a glare here, guys, and unfortunately I don't know where you see the glare, so I'm sorry if this is annoying and I'm making it worse. I'm trying to make it better. So this feels to me like you have an entrepreneur in you. I don't know if you've already started businesses or you have a business idea and you haven't wanted to start it yet. Like, you for sure have this in you. This is a part of your purpose, is creating something on your own. It does require a really fiery energy. You see this guy, he is fully, he's got his mask and his armor, and he's got his wand. Like, he is ready for whatever battle is about to come through. What's interesting is I'm also noticing that he has this feathers on his back, that he can take flight, that like he can see things better than other people. He can get out of harm's way. Like, it feels like you're very resourceful. There's something about you that has like a very, and it could just be this creative energy that you have, the artist energy within you, but like, it feels like you know how to get out of things and move through things and solve problems really well. Like, it feels like you're a problem solver. Because here we have the Seven of Worlds. Now, the Seven of Pentacles in traditional tarot is really about assessing things. It's about taking a pause, looking at all the work that you've done, and really looking at what works, what doesn't work, you know, how to move through things. And with that can come a breakthrough. Absolutely. So again, it feels like there's something about you that knows how to figure things out and see things in a way that other people can't see. And that is a part of your life's purpose. I'm noticing, okay, so the Five of Wands in traditional tarot is about like banter, or it could be conflict, but it's not a swords energy. It's not like a warring conflict. It's more just like it's like, I don't know why, but I keep feeling like it's like similar to the Seven of Wands for whatever reason in this, like standing up for yourself. In this deck, it's oppression. So it feels like, because we're moving into the breakthrough from the oppression, it feels like it has something to do with how you can see how to move through oppressive things with this creative energy that you have. So you're gonna know, because this is a general reading, you're gonna know what that is for you specifically. But again, it's like you're this problem solver. Like, you see how people are stuck in some way. Either it could be within like a very structured business sense, like a business that's failing, let's say. Okay, I'm just going to make this as an example. There's a business that's failing and they've tried everything and they don't know how to make it work. And you come in and you go, oh, guess what? You just have to untie these ropes. Oh, guess what? Let's just cut that cord. Like, you see things in a totally different way where people can have a breakthrough, okay? And you just move through things easily for people. You have like an inventor's mind, a creative inventor's mind. Like, either you're going to be helping other institutions break through things that have been binding them up in some way. You see how there's like all this rope that's tied around her, or you're just going to be creating something for yourself. But I feel like this energy can work for either you or other companies. It's interesting with this horse. It's like, it could have something to do with like, I don't know why, just am thinking about cars for some reason. You know, again, this is a general reading and I know that's super specific, but for whatever reason, and I rode horses as a kid, so I don't know why, but I'm thinking of like a Mustang and like car ads. So, you know, it feels like it has something to do with technology or something, maybe within cars or inside of machines, or I don't know, something like that, that like, maybe you're going to create something that helps people put things together in a mechanical way. Let's keep moving and we'll see what else we have. Okay, so then we have the Journey card and the Happy Family card. Wow. Okay, so the Journey card, you guys, is about travel too. And then with the cards, I don't know, I just heard trains for some reason. So it could have something to do with planes, trains, or automobiles. I don't know, guys, you know. You know, it feels like she's on a train track here and she's going somewhere. It could also be about travel. You know, it could just be about travel. How, you know, the travel industry can change in some way, or, okay, so also what I'm getting, I know this is like a totally different thing. We have like a very mechanical side of things, but I can also see that it could also be a psychological aspect where you can see how people are oppressed psychologically in some way, and that then you can break that apart for them. And it could have to do with families. It could have to do with like a family therapy, frankly, and how to move people through conflict and issues in parenting even. There's something like that you just see things in a clearer way. I want to look at all the cards and see if I have a better idea, more specific, or even general things. Okay, so we have the Hermit, the Vampire, and the Knight. Interesting. We're going to look at the shadow and the light attributes of each of the cards, because we're always working with both the shadow and the light of each archetype. So the Hermit says, seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. So again, we have this creativity, this artist, this person who sees things differently. And the way that you see things differently is you go within, because this unique vision that you have comes from you specifically. The shadow is withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. The Vampire is, the light attributes of the Vampire is, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Okay, so this really speaks to the different ways that I've been seeing how you can just see how people are not doing something correctly. I know that sounds sort of general, it's very vague, but it's just, that's the strongest thing that I'm getting. that there's something about you that can see how other people are doing it wrong. Okay, so it could be that you're a therapist and you see how psychologically people are oppressing themselves, or they keep doing the same conflicts over and over again. It could be through how a company is, draining its finances in the wrong ways. It could even be about personal finance, how people are not structuring their personal finance correctly. And so it's like siphoning their energy. It could be about planes, trains, or automobiles, and those different industries, or anything mechanical like that, and how they're not set up properly. You can see how there's energy that's being drained from them. There's something else that I'm remembering now when I was taking your cards from pile number 2, group number 2. It felt scattered to me. The energy felt scattered. So my sense is that you're very smart and that you could possibly do a lot of different things, okay? So why I'm getting, you could go into family therapy or you could work with cars, is probably because you have a lot of different interests, which is why we got this actor card for you too. There's a lot of different masks that you wear in your life and you're good at them. And that's okay. Some of us have many different paths, and sometimes it's okay to do more than one thing at a time. But the theme that I'm getting for you over and over again, which seems very important, is this aspect of you, this gift of yours, this talent that you have to see things that other people can't see. You have a clearer vision about what is not working in other people's life, finances, businesses, careers, etc. Plug it into your story however it fits. But you can see things that are not working in other people's lives, and you have a way of making it easier for them. And that is going to be your central theme of whatever purpose you choose. So when I say whatever purpose you choose, what I mean is that I don't necessarily believe that our destiny is locked into one specific thing. I think it has more to do with archetypal energies that are a part of our energetic blueprint that we're working with. So what that means is, let's say you're an artist. It doesn't matter if you make ceramics or you paint or you sing, frankly. What it means to be an artist is that you channel that creative life force energy in a way that translates that other people can see it and feel it and experience it the way that you created it. Or they have their own connection to the divine in some way by something that you created. You're an artist. Don't have to do one specific thing, right? You're a healer. You could be a massage therapist or a nurse. You're still a healer. You're still working with the same energetic blueprint. So if you've been getting caught up in, I'm not doing it the right way, or I should be using my talents in this way or that way, it feels very strongly to me that the cards are telling you, don't get locked in that. Allow yourself to play. You have this actor energy. I feel like it's relevant to just kind of tell my story a little bit right now. I don't always, but I have done a lot of different things in my life because I have had a lot of different things that I've been very passionate about. And, I grew up in the world of musical theater, and I was a singer and an actor my whole life. But I've also had this healer side where I did massage therapy for 1 million years. Well, when I quit the business of acting 6 or 7 years ago, it was one of the hardest decisions I ever made, because I felt like, oh my God, now I'm not going to use the skills, the talents that I've been working on my entire life. But the truth is, the reality is, I just have funneled those energies in different ways. I actually discovered that doing massage is a creative endeavor. That every time I work on another human being's body, I'm manipulating their energy field and their muscular structure and their fascia and their blood flow. And it is a creative art form. The way that I move around people is creative. The way that I coach people is a creative endeavor. Even making YouTube videos is creative, right? All of my performance skills from a lifetime of being on the stage, they come into play. And just talking to you on camera right now, even though it's just my hands and my voice, it doesn't matter. It all is being funneled into different directions, but it's the same energies. So that seems very important and relevant for you to understand, that you want to get clear about the general themes, the archetypal blueprints, the energetic blueprints that you're working with in your life, but don't get stuck on the how. You know what I'm saying? Allow yourself to play, because you have this playful, mutable energy within you. Okay, let's finish with these. The shadow of the vampire energy is depleting others for your physical survival, chronic complaining, or codependency. The knight is loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. And the shadow is allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. So there's something about following your own calling that's really important. Like, it feels like you really are the King of Wands, and that is something that you need to honor about yourself, okay? You're not a follower. You're the guy that comes in and tells everybody how things need to change, you know? You're the one that creates the business. You're the one that creates the art by going within and figuring it out and then coming and showing it to the world. You're not the one that follows other people. So I think that's really important for you, that you need to honor the entrepreneur within you. You need to honor the boss within you. You know, like, you have a boss energy in you. The Man of Wands, the King of Wands, he's a boss. There's no way around it. That guy's not an employee. He's not even a CEO. He's not the King of Swords. He's the King of Wands. He creates. He is like the magician, in my view. He creates something out of nothing. And that is the energy that you have. Let's see what this last card is for you. The big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Hello, what have we been saying? You're the one that gets the inspired ideas. You are the visionary. You're not the follower. You're the one who steps through the portal and people follow you. Okay, so whatever this creative entrepreneurial energy is within you, it is something that comes from the higher realms. I mean, it just is. You know, I'm really noticing this lamp that is guiding her on her path. Like, the insights that you get, the clarity that you get, the ideas that you get about how things are not working in the world, that is divinely guided. That's not your ego talking. So if there's been a sense of you that's like, oh, you know, I don't know, or I couldn't possibly, or, you know, that's just my ego saying that it's not, my dear. You have the Hermit energy. You have the Pleiades energy. You have the actor, creator, entrepreneur energy. You are the one that gets the divine guidance, okay? You are the one that guides people along. You are the one that creates the happy family. And that's not always an easy path, because sometimes it feels easier to follow. But the truth is, it's not easier for you to follow because that's not in your makeup. So if you have been following a lot, like learning other people's structures throughout your life, like you've been an employee, you know, or you've been studying other people's things, that's okay. That's all a part of it, right? That's all to show you maybe what's not working, right? You've been studying these other structures to understand that they don't work. You know, it's like I have an entrepreneurial energy within me too. Talking about myself a lot today. Sorry, guys. But I too, I relate to this energy that you're working with. I guess that's why I keep speaking about myself. It's like I have only had a few jobs in my life where I sort of like clocked in and worked for someone else. And I was always miserable because I always thought I could do it better. I would walk into my job and see how the manager wasn't managing the people correctly, the systems weren't set up correctly, and then taking orders from other people was horrible for me because I always wanted to rebel against it. I always wanted to fight back against it. I always wanted to say, well, if you just did this, this, and this, things would be so much smoother. Do you see how unhappy everyone is here? I want to create a happy family. And you guys aren't doing it. Because I see the rainbow. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I want to move people in that direction. So a long time ago, I said, I cannot work for people. And I had to create my own thing. And so my life has been about creating things, okay? And that is yours as well. That really is your path. You're the visionary, my dear. You are the visionary. You see that portal? That's your portal to lead people through. You have to just learn to trust yourself, okay? And your path is not probably going to be linear. It's interesting though, because I see how linear her path is, right? She's walking on this tightrope, but it's a tightrope, guys. This is not like on solid ground. This is like shaky, and that is the path of the entrepreneur. But it's okay. Just know that that's a part of it, right? We all have our own journey in life, and it's all gonna look very differently. Yours is gonna be a little maybe wobbly at times. It's not gonna feel very grounded. It's gonna feel maybe unstable. There's a lack of stability, it seems like, maybe in your path so far. And maybe part of your journey is just about getting comfortable with that. Not trying to fight it, right? Not trying to make yourself be something you're not. Okay, I wish I could just have a job. I've done that to myself, tortured myself with the I just wish I just had a job bullshit. It's bullshit. No, I don't wish I just had a job. I would be miserable if I were sitting at a desk taking orders from someone all day long. Okay, so guess what? I had to get comfortable with things being wobbly. And that's what it is to be the life of an entrepreneur. But I'm self-expressed. Okay? I live a life of freedom and self-expression and creativity. And to me, that's worth it. Why? Because it gives me meaning and it gives me purpose in my life. And you are searching for the same meaning and the same purpose. Not the same as mine, but the same type, right? You want to have meaning. You want to have purpose in your life. And your soul is calling for you to break through, to become the creator, to become the artist, to become the visionary. And it might be in anything from technologies and transportation to family structures, okay? It could be to old paradigms around how families are set up or how we work in relationships together. Maybe you see things like that old relationship paradigm, that's BS, that doesn't work. I have a vision of a future that is beautiful, and I want to lead people there. That's who you are. You're the boss, my dear. You're the boss. You're the visionary. And the world needs you. So give yourself permission to take the lead. Okay? And your fans, your followers, your clients, they'll find you. You have to step into that alignment. You have to step into that power. And trust yourself and trust your guidance. You are always being guided by the divine. Remember that you're not alone. Even though you're in the front, you're not alone. There's always a higher power that is leading you as the leader. You always have a higher power of a team, right? Of higher beings that are always surrounding you. Your light family, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, they're always with you. So maybe it's time you start connecting to those higher realms so that you can take on a higher calling for your life and know that you're never alone. Yeah? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful group. What a pleasure it has been to spend time with you. This was your reading group too. I hope that it brought you some clarity and some insight. I would love to hear what resonated for you in the comment section below. Maybe a thumbs up and a subscribe to the channel would be awesome too. I'm going to be doing lots of pick a card readings. Maybe others will resonate with you. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. I send you so much love and so much light. And until next time, be well. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different kinds of cards today, some non-traditional tarot, archetype cards. We're going to look at them each one by one, and then we'll see the larger story that wants to be told. Wow, you guys. The first thing that I was getting before we look at the cards is like this loving heart space. And it's interesting. I didn't look at these cards ahead of time. And what's the card that we got? The Three of Cups. And in this deck, it's love. Love. You're like a lover. Okay, so let's go through each and see what we get here. So we start with the Emperor card. The Emperor card is a major arcana, and it's all about this grandfatherly energy, this masculine energy that has built things over time into the material realm. This protective energy. You know, I'm noticing this, the earth they're holding in their hand with this tree sort of growing. It's like this, it's interesting because the Emperor card is a masculine card, but I'm really feeling this nurturing energy about like growth over time. So I'm also noticing the coins here. So whatever you do, it's going to be in service of helping things grow over time, and really planting the seeds for things that last. So you see I know there's a glare here, and I don't know where you're seeing a glare in respect to where I am. So I'm hoping that I'm making this better for you, but it might be making it worse, and I apologize. So do you see the skyscrapers back here? It's like those last from generation to generation to generation. The Emperor builds things that last for his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, his great-great-grandchildren. So whatever your purpose is, it's something bigger than you. It's something that is going to affect people for many, many years to come. Wow. This is a powerful energy to start with for purpose reading, you guys. And I even am seeing the pyramid back there. Like, how long do pyramids last? Frankly, we don't even really know, right? Like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years, these things have been around. So your purpose is pretty mage, guys, pretty mage. Okay, then we have the Love card. The Three of Cups is all about celebration and heart space, loving, playful, celebratory energy. This is a feel-good card, you guys. This is an outpouring of love and beauty is really what I'm noticing on this card in particular. The beautiful flowers, the beautiful vase, like it's something about building beautiful things. Like, I don't know why I'm really picking up like plants, or I'm even noticing my plant here. Oh, he needs some water. That's something like planting gardens or planting trees or farming or flowers, or like I'm hearing like city gardens or something. Like, I lived in New York for a million years, not really, but a long time. And there were, for some reason, it's popping into my head, like the city gardens that we would have these like little public gardens in the middle of this crazy city block. There would just be like an empty space, and they would create a garden there. It's something like that, especially, I guess, because we saw the skyscrapers, and then with the planting of the tree, it's like that. Like, you're setting up systems that are natural, that will last forever. I hope that makes sense to you. We're going to keep going and see if we get some more clarity and insight. The next card we have is the Sage of Worlds, and that is a pentacle card, and that is the page. It's the Page of Pentacles. So this is a card about learning and studying, and in this deck it's about mastery. So gosh, she's weaving things too. So it could be about creating things with your hands, not just like planting things, but like, you know, creating arts and crafts or something like that. Again, I'm noticing coins. So it could be also, you know, we have 2 coins here. You know, it could be about creating systems in the financial world that last over time. Even something like a cryptocurrency or something like that, like a blockchain thing. Or it could be very earthy and grounded and natural, like building gardens. But it's something that makes people feel good. That's why, yeah, it could be about money, but I more than anything, I feel like it's just going to be very lucrative for you. I feel like it has something to do with beauty and making people feel good. And to me, love and beauty are very much together. And so it's something about like feeling love by seeing beautiful things or experiencing beautiful things. And that's going to make you a lot of money. That's what it feels like to me. Then we have the indecision and anxiety. Okay, so I guess you've been very anxious about this, okay? It seems like you have maybe 2 paths ahead of you, right? And that you haven't been able to make a choice. This is the unknown path, it says, and this is also the unknown path. What's beautiful is they both have butterflies there, okay? So either path you choose, it will be transformational. So I think this is an important message for you. Pardon me while I adjust myself here. It doesn't matter what path you choose, okay? I know that sounds like that's nuts. How could that be? Of course it matters the path that I choose. This is my destiny. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. And the reason it doesn't matter is all paths lead to Rome. I'm sure you've heard that before. Or if you haven't, it's like, basically, it doesn't matter which road you take, you're going to end up at the same space. And when I say the same space, I don't mean that you have to literally be doing the same thing. So I said this in the last reading, and I'm gonna say it again because it's just so important when we're talking about purpose, which is to say that it doesn't matter the exact specifics, the how of our purpose. In order to create real meaning or to live on purpose, we don't have to do anything specific. Let me explain. If you came here in this life with the energetic blueprint in your purpose to be an artist, all that means is that you channel this divine creative energy and you create something in a way that other people get to experience the divine as well. Okay? That means you can paint, you can sculpt, you can sing, you can dance. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's the same thing, and it feels like you do have this sort of like artisty energy. But again, it could be like a planter of seeds or something, a planter of gardens or something. It doesn't matter if you plant the garden or you make pottery. You're going to experience yourself in the same way if you keep going. Because life is, how do I say this without getting too deep and off on a tangent? It's like we live in a holographic universe, which means that every single aspect of the universe resides in every single point. So if you ever want to get to the true meaning of something, you only have to study one thing. You don't have to study everything. And we each have our own path. So some of us study everything to get to the truth of the universe. Some of us study one thing and we get to the same truth. Why? Because the truth is the truth is the truth anywhere you go. And what is the truth? It's really God. Your divine nature. And your purpose has to do with sharing your divine nature with the world. So your higher self doesn't care what you do. It just wants you to share. It just wants you to share your divine nature. So you can do it by weaving pottery or planting trees, okay? But there is like this energetic blueprint that you're using inside of your purpose that is going to make you feel like your life has meaning. It's going to give you that resonance that you're looking for. And that, I believe, according to these cards, has something to do with creating beautiful things. And it could be in nature, or it could be in the arts and crafts world, okay? And I promise you that if you do it long enough, you will start to feel settled into it. And it just feels like you have been stressing yourself out about this far too much. It feels like you have been making yourself wrong about not doing fast enough or good enough, or you're scared about making it. I mean, you must be scared about making the wrong decision. What's really beautiful about this indecision card is it's an 8. And the 8 is the infinity symbol, right? What does that mean? Life is cyclical. It always comes back around, and it's all connected. It's all one thing, guys. It's just all one thing. All you have to do is create and use that life force energy of yours. That's it. It doesn't have to be in any specific way. It's not like your soul came here and was like, oh, I have to start a farming business. And if I don't start a farming business, then I will not have fulfilled my purpose. No. You just have to follow the impulse of your soul. And I imagine that your soul is inviting you to start to plant things in the material realm that are beautiful. So just start doing that. And maybe for you, it's just about like planting your own garden. Okay? Or if you don't have a backyard, maybe it's just about growing some herbs in your kitchen. And then you take the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step. And then all of a sudden you have created a business around urban farming. And how do you create a farm in your own, urban location? And then all of a sudden you've arrived. But life is not going to give you the whole map ahead of time. Life is just going to give you the next step and the next step and the next step. And when I say life, I mean your higher self. Because your higher self wants you to go on the journey, right? It's about the journey. It's always been about the journey. Okay, let's keep going. We have the martyr and we have the child orphan. Okay. We're going to read both the light and the shadow because we're always working with both of the light and the shadow attributes. It's interesting because what it feels like with this Emperor card, why maybe you've been getting anxiety, is because the shadow attributes is like this controlling energy of the Emperor, right? Or I would imagine that this is also an energy that really makes themselves wrong if they haven't figured it all out, right? Because your soul knows that there is something about you that has the capacity to really create something that lasts. And you may not have found out what that is yet. You probably haven't, which is why you're at this reading, right? But the Emperor doesn't get to that space till the end of his life, guys. So you can't have it all figured out right now. So although, yeah, you do have the Emperor energy, and I imagine that in 20 years from now, you're going to be like, oh, here it is. I built this business. I built this thing. I planted all these trees. Or, I planted all these gardens. I created this farm. But it's not now. You're not going to be there now. It just means that you hold that energy within you. It's exciting. You're going to get there, but you can't know where that there is just yet. You have to just take one step at a time. Okay, the martyr energy, the light attribute, is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. The shadow attribute is addiction to self-pity. And I'm noticing how his heart is expanded, and there's all these roses. Again, it's like plants, you guys. There's a lot of stuff around plants, planting things, planting seeds for you. And his heart is expanded, and he has this beautiful like heart energy in the form of these petals that are just falling out of his heart. It's like, it's the same thing here, guys. Love, you just have this huge heart. And that's probably why you're a little anxious too, is because you want so badly to give of yourself. And this beautiful energy that you have, it will be used. I promise you. You will give of yourself in this life. How do I know that? Because you're here now watching this video. If you are seeking, you will find. That's how it works. So if you are the kind of person that has this huge heart that just wants to give to the world will give you opportunities to give, because the world wants you to give too. Your higher self wants you to give too. But you don't want to get trapped in this addiction to self-pity that comes with this big open-hearted space. And what is that? That's anxiety. That's what anxiety looks like. You can only be anxious if you're worried about yourself, right? If you're focused on giving, which is what your heart wants you to do, if you're focused on other people, then you don't have to be worried about yourself. And maybe for you, it's about, where can I give today? You know, maybe that is your mantra. Like, the way that you're going to get out of this indecisive and anxious energy is just by giving. So find a place to give, even if it's not on purpose and it's not like exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now. Maybe for you, it's about working in a community garden. I don't know why. This is a huge theme. I'm feeling it really strongly for you guys. And if it doesn't apply to you, I apologize. I know this is a general reading, but for some of you, this getting your hands in the dirt and planting something is really important. And maybe that's like you start a non-for-profit where you plant fruit trees in the ghetto. I don't know. But there's something about that, because you have this martyr energy which wants to give of yourself. You want to give of yourself. So if you're not giving that heart energy, it's going to contract. Okay? And that's when you start to feel anxious. So the best way to stop worrying about yourself is to give to other people. So find somewhere that you can go and give of yourself. Okay? Find something to give. You know, a charity, a something. Ask a friend if they need help organizing something. Ask a friend if they need help with their garden, you know, something like that. Find a local farm and ask the farmers even, hey, do you guys need help picking trees? Farmers have gone through a lot of stuff lately, and I know they need help. There's something like that that I think will lead you. For you, in your purpose, it's so important that you give in a loving way, that you give of yourself from your heart space, that I know that will lead you, okay? Some people are about like insights and intellect and learning and studying. For you, it feels like your path is going to come from your heart space, because your head is going to make you feel more anxious. Your head is going to make you feel more indecisive. You see how she's like pulling her hair out? So for you, you want to connect to your heart space. And the way that you do that is you give of yourself. And the more you give of yourself, the more life will give you opportunities to give of yourself, and then that will lead you towards your purpose, okay? So that could look like you call a local farm and you say, hey, do you guys need help picking trees, okay? And then you just start picking trees with them, and then all of a sudden you discover, wow, I really like farming. And, you know, then you meet someone, and someone that you meet at that farm is like, I want to start a new farm. And then you're like, hey, I could help you start this farm. The next thing you know, you've helped this other guy start a farm. And then you're like, hey, I'm going to start my own farm, or whatever that is. Do you see what I'm saying? Allow your heart to lead you. That is where you will find your purpose and your meaning in life, I promise. The next card we have for you is the Child Orphan, and the light attributes are independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. The shadow is feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. Interesting. So it feels like this survival energy is very strong in you, and that's probably what's bringing you a lot of anxiety, okay? And let me tell you, you're not alone. We are all going through it right now. And, there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of our financial well-being. Maybe you've lost your job. I feel for you. I understand. I have lost a lot of financial stability in my life as well in many ways. So many of us have, okay? And makes sense, of course, that you're anxious, okay? But you have to remember that life is always working for you, never against you. What does that mean? No matter what is going on in the world around you, it is always in service of your highest and best good. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be comfortable. It doesn't mean that, life is always going to give you more money to go buy that next new thing. No, what that means is whatever lessons your soul came here to learn, life will always be providing you opportunities to grow, to learn, to expand, to evolve, to become more and more of yourself, who you truly are. So maybe with this whole pandemic thing and what's going on in the world, you lost your job, okay? And maybe you lost your financial revenue. And this is scaring the pants off of you. And now you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? You might not be able to figure it all out today, okay? But your soul has a plan for you. And your soul wants you to let your heart lead you this time. Because maybe before all of this happened, you made choices and decisions that were not in alignment with your soul, with your heart, with your true nature. And maybe you were doing work. If you really ask yourself the truth, were you doing work before that felt in alignment with your heart, with your true soul's purpose in this life? I would guess that the answer is no. And so when I say that life is always moving in service of your highest and best good, well, what that means is that even though you might have lost your job, that job was probably not right for you. And there is a greater purpose for your life that is calling you forward. But you're gonna have to allow your heart to guide you this time and trust that all your needs will always be met. Somehow, all your needs will always be met. And if you allow your heart to continue to guide you, you will get more than just your needs met. You will actually get financial rewards, because without a doubt, I saw these coins at the very beginning. This Emperor card is a wealthy, wealthy archetype, okay? So you might not, you don't get wealth overnight. It happens over time. It happens over following your heart, for you in particular, and taking step after step after step over time, over time, over time. So I also am picking up on some old shadow wounding, maybe from your childhood, even from past lives. It feels like there is some abandonment issues from your childhood that you're dealing with, right? So that also comes from, many of us have abandonment wounds from our childhood, but it's deeper than that. We make it be about God, that like somehow God abandoned us. So then what can happen is, let's say our father left us when we were very young. And so we have this deep abandonment wound in us. What ends up happening is we stop trusting our divine nature. We stop trusting this emperor energy that is always there. This sort of God energy, right? This energy that is always providing for us, always taking care of us, always making sure we're okay, because we lost that when we were children. But why it's happening again and again and again is so that you start to learn that actually God is your source. God is your divine emperor. God is always making sure that your needs are met. Not your physical father, not your boyfriend, not your husband, not your boss. God. God is your source. And so maybe that's why nature feels like such a strong theme in this reading for you too, is because God, your higher self, your heart wants you to connect back with the earth, so that you can connect back with your own divine nature, so that you can connect back with God and the stability and the safety that is always being provided to you by your eternal source, by God, by this omnipotent energy that's always moving through your life, that's always protecting you, always providing for you. You are always being taken care of. You are not alone. And it's your job to start to look for places that you are being taken care of, okay? So God moves through all of life, okay? Not just one human being, not just one job, not just one house, not just one city. God is everywhere. So God will be providing your needs from every single direction. So I think it would be really powerful for you to start to keep track of all the ways that God is providing for you every single day. Maybe keep a journal. This is how my needs got met today. This is how my needs got met today. This is how I'm safe today. This is how I'm safe today. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. That is your mantra. Okay, let's look at the last final card. Trust, guys. Can't make this up. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Okay, if that is part of your anxiety, I haven't done it enough yet, this is not enough yet, I don't know yet, just life is asking for you to trust that it's all a part of it. There's no time is not running out. Trust the wave you came in on. That's really interesting. So it feels like that is about like your history, your family. Like maybe there's something about the family that you grew up in that you're making wrong. You know, that you were an orphan in some way, or you lost a parent at a very early age, or you were abandoned in some way when you were young, and you feel like that is your scar, or you feel like that is, you know, what makes you damaged in some way, or like that is your cross to bear, or you have some negative story attached to your childhood that's holding you back energetically. Okay, it feels very strongly to me. So you want to work through those shadows, through those limiting beliefs, through those stories that you are inherently held back because of your past. It's not true. It's not true. You are actually given the exact family that you need in order to have the life that your soul wanted to have. You chose that family. Your soul chose that family and those experiences to have. I know that might sound crazy to some of you. And for others of you, you're like, thank you for reminding me, right? But it's true. Your soul chose that family. Your soul knew that you would have those experiences no matter how challenging they were. This life is challenging, okay? We are living in a challenging period of time on this planet. And you knew that it would be this way before you got here. But you had a greater mission and a greater purpose for your life, which is to shine your light, your heart space on the world. And you don't get that big heart energy by having an easy childhood usually, honestly. Many of the greatest givers of this life had the most challenging childhoods. So if you did have a difficult childhood, know that it was in service of your highest and best, so that you could be in service of the highest and best of everyone on the planet. And your job right now is to create a new empowering context for your childhood. You need to rewrite the story of your childhood so that you are no longer the orphan, the martyr, the one who was used and abused, but you are no longer the victimizer. You become, or the victim, right? You become the triumphant one. You become the master. You become the emperor. You become triumphant. You become the one who can give love fully. This open, big heart that you have wants to be used. And God wants to use you. And God will always provide for you. You are no longer a child. You are no longer stuck in those circumstances that you can't get out of. Okay? You now have the freedom to move through your life, and God will guide you. Okay? So it doesn't matter what path you take, you just have to keep moving. And trust that the timing is always perfect. Everything is always divinely ordered. Always. So if you're hearing me right now and you're going, yeah, I know, you needed to be reminded. If you've never heard this before, you need to learn this, okay? This is an important message and it feels very strongly for you, and it feels like that is what has been energetically maybe holding you back. And also it's all perfect, right? It's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. We're always expanding. We're always evolving. We're always learning. Nobody arrives at that destination point where they're totally enlightened. I've never met an enlightened being myself. Maybe they exist, but I've never met one. So, it's always a journey. We're always having to make new choices about which path to take. It doesn't end, okay? Welcome to life on this crazy planet. But you want to start to create an empowering context for yourself such that you can really see yourself as the divine spark of creation that you are. The divine child of God that you are. The sovereign, free child of God that you are. And it is a journey, it is not a destination. Okay, group 3. So just know that it's an honorable path, one where you are being of service. And it feels very strongly to me that you are going to provide a loving service for people that will give them peace, that will help them with all of the anxieties that you've had to deal with in your life by providing them beauty and love in their life. So I am excited to hear how this resonated for you. If there's ideas that you have about, if there are things popping into your head right now, I would love to hear if you wanted to share anything in the comment section below. I have so enjoyed spending this time with you, and your energy is really loving and really beautiful, and I really am excited about your future. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. I send you so much love and so much light. And until next time, be well, Christine.